1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Tony Winston, Jazz Piano College, and I've been away on vacation for a couple of weeks. Not really away, I just took a break from everything. No live students, no YouTube, no nothing. And worked on my album project. But now I'm back, and what I'm going to cover today is a thing called the Chromatic Connection. I had a comment about this, or a question, and I wasn't really able to answer it very well in the comment section, so I thought I'd do a video about it. And you could apply this to any time you're moving from one scale to another. I'm using a Jamie Aebersold Play Along book, Volume 3, very important book here because it's 251s. And you could practice just about anything with this book, all kinds of patterns and lines and things in all 12 keys. And so it's a very useful book, and I will be doing some more videos using this book. I've got the right channel turned off, so you're only going to be hearing the drums and the bass. The Chromatic Connection. So here's what it is. Let's say I'm starting off with D minor, and I'm doing the Dorian scale, which of course for D minor is going to be all white keys. And then I'm going to go into the diminished scale. This is going to be my G7 chord with a flat 9, and you can see it's a diminished chord there, and I'm going to go into the diminished scale. But here's my chromatic connection. Right as I get to the next scale, I look for notes that are in the scale. So, in the diminished scale here, F is one of the notes, A flat is one of the notes. So this is a chromatic move here from G to A flat. It is desirable to move a half step. It doesn't mean you can't jump to another note or just go to the whole step that might be close by also, but it is desirable to have a chromatic connection because it makes the scales really kind of flow together and weave together. So, for instance, if I did this line, I would probably want to go to A flat next. Not only because it's changing direction after that kind of boring descending scale there, it's a change of direction, but it's also a chromatic connection. So, see that time I went from A to there, and I could have gone back to there, but that's a whole step from the diminished scale to the C major scale, so I went this way because it was a half step. So I managed to do 2 chromatic connections on that line. Let me do another one and see if I can. And the thing is, you can kind of plan this stuff out, but not really. It's just desirable if it happens. It doesn't mean if it doesn't happen, it's not a good line. You can do a jump or a leap or go a whole step or whatever, and it still might be a wonderful line. But like I say, it's desirable to have a chromatic connection. Let's look at another one. So right here, I'm going to C, and I've got that note or this note. So it just didn't work out. So, I pick either one, and I just didn't have a chromatic connection. All right, let me do another one. And that time it worked out great. All right, and so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play through the first exercise here, and it just goes around the cycle of fifths basically, though I will put the music down there below. And if you use the track that has the piano on there, the chords that are being played are something like this, right there. So there's not like a flat 9, there's not like a sharp 11 or anything to kind of indicate the diminished scale. So you might want to use either the Mixolydian or the Lydian dominant scale, also works pretty well.
2.
Count it off, Jamie.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So 2 chromatic connections that time. Only 1 that time. I got 2 in that time. I don't know what I was doing on that. Just 1 there towards the end. Got 2 on that one. Yep, got 2. Only 1. I don't know. Two. All right, so let me stop it here for a second. Then they move a half step and start doing these. Okay, that's the chromatic connection, and I'll do it in a few other keys here too. I had C minor. So one thing I've noticed is that if you start here on the 11th, and you're aiming for that flat 5, that would make it a chromatic connection. So you can start on the 11th, maybe you could start up on the, on the root. That's a good one. Or if you started, say, on the 5th, you end up on the flat 9. And I suppose you could work out some systems and stuff for this kind of thing. But generally, I've just found that just spending time playing lines, just playing lines over and over and over again, taking each key and doing it many, many times before going on to the next one, that you will find these chromatic connections, and your ears will kind of guide your fingers to have them work out more often than not. Now, I've got to say that the diminished scale is one of the easiest scales to make a chromatic connection into, because there's so many, chromatic parts of it already, and there's 8 notes, in the scale rather than 7, so you get that 1 extra note to pick from, and you can almost always find a chromatic connection when you're using the diminished scale. Now, if you're doing a real kind of, kind of a McCoy Tyner, then, you're not really thinking that too much about a chromatic connection, but you could. Maybe I'll go, and then I'm looking for, let's say F altered. So I'm looking for like a chromatic connection. Yeah, so. And, I'm not opposed to working out some ideas and then, trying to use those ideas in your solo. It usually doesn't sound very natural or organic to force a particular line into a solo. If you practice it enough and don't try to force it, it might just come out. It will eventually come out. Thank you for all your support, and I will see you again soon.